title is not clickbait. No, this is legitimately what happened, and I will explain why. But first of all, Indiana, let's lay this out here. Indiana stealing a recruit from Ohio State. This is like a homeless man it somehow entering a rich person's, like a billionaire's secure house. This is like a homeless man who, like, again, gets into the secure home and drives off with the billionaire's, one of the 11 billionaires' Ferraris. Like, the billionaire, he didn't really lose anything, but he's still kind of mad that this happened. And this is what I think. I think this is the perfect analogy, or that is the perfect analogy as to what's going on here. Ohio State shouldn't be mad that they lost a 4-star. They should be mad that they lost a 4-star to Indiana. Now, I'm not saying Tom Allen's a crap coach. He isn't. He may be one of the best in the Big Ten. We'll see next year. He's up there, certainly. But the state that Indiana's in, no matter what he did last year, people are still thinking, but they've had shines of brightness before, and they're still poverty. They've never gotten to 10 wins ever, which is, to me, that's very shocking. Like, it almost take more effort to not have a 10-win season, to not have a 10-win season than to have one, seeing how easily Harbaugh has gotten it. Though a lot of that's for other topics that we won't discuss today. But this was a big win for Indiana, and kind of a humiliatingly small battle that was lost by Ohio State in an even more humiliating fashion. So an article by 24/7 Sports explains Dasan McCullough's decommitment from Ohio State and commitment to Indiana. Dasan McCullough's the name of the athlete. Explains why he made the decision near perfectly. I say near because I think they downplay why he went there. But McCullough says it's mainly because of his family. He has 2 brothers that are likely going to be playing for Indiana. One's committed to them in the 2023 recruiting class. Another is transferring from Miami, Ohio. And his dad is now on the coaching staff. And he says it's a blessed, quote, it's a blessing, an opportunity you don't get too often. He also says how he thinks the future is bright at Indiana. He is only recruit number 2 for Tom Allen in the 2022 class, but he says that his commitment will get more recruits on board and just help build on what Tom Allen is bringing to this team. And I completely agree. Again, Tom Allen, very good coach, knows what he's doing, very good in developing talent. And watch out for them next year. They're returning many starters, especially if Penix Jr. is healthy. They could be a contender in the East. They'd be the only challenge to Ohio State in the East. Don't kid yourself. Penn State and Michigan are literally like dead dogs. They're dead dogs on strings that Ohio State is pulling to making them look alive. They're nothing. At least next year. They're nothing. Nothing. That 2020 season and what happened to both those programs will require a whole revamp before they, years worth of revamp before they can challenge Ohio State. But talk about Indiana. Indiana fans, if any of you listen to this, good job. Good job. You have a solid coach who makes moves, and I'm not talking about, convincing his family and all that, though I can imagine some of that may have been preemptively thought out to get him there. Maybe just a little, but probably not. But being such a good coach, and just revamping Indiana and rebuilding it to the point where a top 50 athlete chooses you over Ohio State, you've already outdone yourself. That right there, if that right there doesn't show you that Tom Allen is a good coach, at least for now, since his time coming to Indiana to 2021, I don't know what will. I don't know what will. Man's an overachiever. And he took a poverty program. He came up to Ohio State and he took a stick right to its face. That's what he just did. Exactly what he just did. And as a Michigan fan, I am more proud of you for getting the commit than I am for Ohio State losing one, which people may be like, that's heresy. You have to hate him. But I want a contender. I don't want the entire Big Ten to suck. I want us to all be good, and that's the reason Ohio State loses. I don't ever want Ohio State to be bad. I just want them to be very good, and then they lose to Michigan more often than not. That's what I want. So Indiana, huge win for Tom Allen and co. Huge. Absolutely huge. You got a top 50 player to believe in your system. The number one player in Indiana history to commit there. And the number one Indiana player in the state in the 2022 recruiting class. Now to Ohio State. Ohio State fans, you turn, oh my gosh, the amount of toxicity on Instagram that I scrolled through today relating to this, like an Ohio State fan page posting the record of their series with Indiana. It's just funny. Why are you mad? Like, no, not why are you mad? Why are you being toxic about it? Like, you can be mad. This is frustrating. This is like someone. It's just like someone choosing Pittsburgh over Clemson. No, not even worse. This is like someone choosing, oh my gosh, like what, Boston College over Clemson, or the Citadel over Wisconsin. I would be mad. Anyone would be rightfully mad. This is like a good-looking, strong man choosing what most people would call a very bad-looking woman over a very good-looking woman. But about the bad-looking woman that is Indiana for now, she's going to become very good-looking in a few years. So I can see why. But it's still, at the moment, it's very, very frustrating. But the toxicity in all this surrounding it, and it's not even from the fan base, too. This in itself, even if there was no reaction, you're like, oh, well, so Ohio State can like actually lose in recruiting. They can actually get beat out by smaller schools. And the answer is yes, they can. They totally can. And this proves it. And I mean, Ohio State is still going to recruit very well. They're going to get multiple 5 stars a year. They never won't until Michigan beats them 4 years in a row, or until they don't go any higher than 11 wins, or if they somehow just stop reaching the playoff every year. They've gotten to a point. It will take it'd take a decade of Michigan beating them by an average of 28 points a game for Michigan to finally pass them in recruiting. This is how elite Ohio State is in recruiting. And another thing that's huge about this too is no one's been able to outcoach Ryan Day. And even in recruiting, man does what he wants with recruiting. I mean, we saw that with Texas. He literally poached away Quinn Ewers from Texas before Herman was fired. Even seeing how good Yurcich developed Sam Ehlinger. Ryan Day is a bear amongst coaches in the Big Ten, and Tom Allen actually challenged him. And Tom Allen won. He won. Good for him. Next year he'll probably lose to Ohio State in the real game, but I expect I may have to add Indiana to my series list of teams that I think will beat Ohio State first. They may have to be added with Michigan, Wisconsin, and Penn State. Those are currently the 3 teams I think that have the best chance. But Indiana, after this, is certainly on a near parabolic uptrend for now. We'll have to wait and see. But huge win for IU. Not a huge loss for Ohio State, but just showing Ohio State against the world, guys, is a real thing, and everyone is taking this by its hand and raising it in the air. They're all cheering against Ohio State. And I think some of this might even spill over into their game next year. Some steam may be released by the Ohio State coaching staff. That's all I have for this short little episode. Not much surrounding it. Again, huge win for IU. Modest loss for OSU, but shows that people can challenge them. If you've reached this far into the video, remember to like and subscribe for more content. And hit the notification bell and comment your thoughts below. Thank you.